start leading people, these are 5 things that you need to lead. One is yourself. Be intentional about knowing who you are, whose you are, and where you're going in life. Yourself. Everything you want to do with your life, you can write some paper today and start building and living it. You know that, right? So your name is the top thing you need to protect. Because when that name is corrupted, that's it. When that name is corrupted, that's it. 2 is your mindset, because it's going to go with you wherever you go. 3 is the vision. Lead yourself, lead your mind, lead a vision. Like I said, a lot of you go into leadership from the beginning, and most of the time it's political leadership. You don't have any job beyond politics. Get a profession. Get something that gives you money, enough to survive, so you can say no to things that will corrupt your leadership. Because the multitude of hungry people, they want to be served, they want to be fed, and feeding comes with money. Get a vision that will survive beyond the approval of people that want to corrupt you. You understand what I'm saying? Have ownership of what you do. Because leadership, especially political leadership, you don't have ownership of it. You know that they can elect you today and then impeach you tomorrow. Imagine you're building a business, and then the business is doing well, and it's giving you enough money to survive and to build whatever wealth you want. When you get into a political position, you won't be easily corrupted because your money is not coming from there. Do you get what I'm saying? Do something professionally that gives you resources beyond the people's approval. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because you're young. And sometimes you get into this leadership thing too quickly. Without knowing who you are, without having a mindset of your own, that cannot easily be influenced. But without having a vision that is not overly dependent on the approval of people, before you get into it, and you need to say yes to constituents every time. Whenever you get into your constituency, you have to give them rice, chicken. And it's a norm, because your opponent is doing it. So it doesn't matter what you're saying. I want to do good. I want to build school. No, give me rice today. When you say no, you need a hospital better than rice. They won't vote for you again. But if you have the means to build a hospital, they will vote for you. Beyond who is giving them rice. You think it's easy? It's not. Why do you think people come into office and they can't do what they say they will do? Because personally, they don't have the means. And every time you have to depend on somebody to give you the means to do what you say you want to do, which is good, you get corrupted. Anyway, guys, my heart bleeds when I think of leadership in Ghana. Because a lot of people that want to get into it are so broke themselves, financially, mentally, that with a little exposure, they get corrupt. So the 4th thing is people. Before you start thinking of leading people, lead these 3 things first. Self, mind, vision. Before people. And the last thing you have to think about beyond people is legacy. What will generations say about you? And how are you going to be intentional about building a consistent legacy? Because if you want to do good, they will brand you. They will find reasons to sack you. They will find reasons to make you look like you're the black sheep. If you don't conform to what the norm is, you probably will not survive too far to be able to do good. So whatever you do, please be intentional about being true to who you really are. Because when you're exposed, when you get money, when you get the opportunity to lead, you're only magnifying who you truly are. They say wealth doesn't change a man. It only projects who he originally is. And it's the same with leadership. Leadership changes no man or woman. It only gives you a platform to show who you've been all this while. If you are pompous, you'll be over pompous. If you are prideful, you'll be over prideful. And if you are corrupt, you'll be over corrupt. Because now you have the opportunity to be in an environment that sees it as the norm. So, my young leaders, if you've not heard anything from me, hear this. If you want to be a great leader, a good leader, a leader that is incorruptible, a leader that is building a legacy of repute that people would admire you for generations, it's going to be a very lonely road. You will find yourself alone, and people you trust would always genuinely advise you to fall in line. And it is who you are, and who you've determined to be that will stand the test of time. But always have something you can fall back on, which does not depend on the approval of men who have voted or elected you into that office. Think about that. When you don't have the opportunity to be the leader you've always wanted to be, build a way of going back to what you were originally doing. Like the example you gave, no, I think Ms. Enim gave, the woman that set up the school where there was no school. It didn't depend on anybody. Do you know that if this person is sacked and she goes anywhere else, because that is who she really is, she will start again. The approval of men will drive you to places that will get you lost in who you really are. So build something now that you can always go back to. That will be a pillar that will help you to be incorruptible, an amazing leader, regardless of who is influencing the decisions that you make. So that's what I came to tell you. Thank you so much. And all the best with your leadership.
All right, so next, I want to call a very good friend of mine. He has traveled all the way from Korea, and he's also one of our partners or sponsors for this event. Please, let's put our hands together for Prince Kuku. I am not going to introduce him because he's going to share his story with us. This is a young man who has taken Tom Brown. You know Tom Brown? Oh, you know Tom Brown. Okay. He has taken Tom Brown and put Tom Brown in Walmart. He has taking Tom Brown to France, all over the world. So I want us to just listen to him. He's going to share with us some of the key values or the key principles that have guided him as a young man to be able to create a successful business like Proper Foods and to be able to even sponsor programs. Yeah, I want you to write a check, 1 million Ghana when you are going to have your program. Yeah, so we're just all aspiring for that. So, Prince, the floor is yours. You have a few minutes to share with us your story.
Thank you very much. I like the introduction, but always I would like to introduce myself. I'm Prince Tom Brown Ra. Yes, that is a simple introduction. Yes, Tom Brown Ra. So, we don't have much time. I'd like to share my story with Mr. Paul. Thank you so much. I learned a lot from him because whatever he was saying, I've experienced some. And I'd like to share some few things. First, I will begin with mentality. He said a lot about mentality. Someone will ask why Tom Brown? And Tom Brown, live there. After university, I applied for, I think, Fidelity. I had an opportunity to work at Fidelity. I resigned the very first day I got to work. I reported to work. That was the very day I resigned because the distance was too much for me. And I said, I want to do Tom Brown. I came home. Initially, it was not making sense to me. It was not making sense to me because, as a young when you're a Juma, took about 6 months to get a job. When you're a Juma, we also when you over the Tom Brown. And then they now go pay Juma. And obviously, family members, people around, they will be pushing you. Why? page my go and do this. Then no, I will do Tom Brown. And I started because back at secondary school, my mom had a special recipe for me. So I decided to work on that. And I had that perception and mentality that with this, I'm going to change generation. I'm going to change, as he said, the world is very important. I had to change things. And I said, I'm going to do that with what? Tom Brown. It has not been easy because there are a lot of challenges that we experience, especially using stickers, after then building on. We are currently working on order to Italy. And in Ghana here, we have our products in almost all the modern trade shops, some of the traditional markets, Melcom and the others. As a leader, someone asks you, why do you want to do this? You know why you want to do what? Do that particular thing that you want to do. Don't sit somewhere and say, oh, because everyone is doing this, as I said, so you want to do this. It's about a mentality. And business has made me understand God better. That is something that I would like to also share. Because when we started together with my brother, Desmond, we were having a lot of difficulty. I remember we were pushing for something that we thought we could do it. That was to supply mail commerce at that time. What started to so big orders from Cofodia to Melcom. It took us over 3 years to get Melcom. Yeah. We will come, then they will reject us. We will go back and we are like, no, you have to go again. You have to do something different. We will go and do 1 or 2 touches. We will come, and the beautiful aspect is in Koforia, people will tell us, I didn't come on. No package here. And when we get to Accra, and I said, okay, we have to probably upgrade to a level that is going to be accepted by everyone. We got there and we're still being rejected. The reason why I'm saying that I got to understand God better was that we were not ready as a man. As a leader, I know fighting for probably political positions or something. Sometimes when you are pushing for something, it's not fun. God is just trying to tell you, you are not ready. We were pushing for Melcom at that time, and we got Palace small. Melcom has 74 branches. Palace has 6 branches. And we were given a deadline of 2 weeks to supply. 6 branches, 2 weeks, we were not able to supply us at that time. But then we were chasing Melcom. And Melcom has over 74 branches. So just do the comparison. If we had Melcom at that time, and it will be gone. From there, the Palace, there were other shops that came before export came, and even our first export order was very difficult. We were just stretching ourselves. So later on, we realized, and anytime we improve or anytime we get better, we get something else. Something comes our way. When we improve our production capacity, we then had Melcom. When we got the machines, we imported machines from China and all that, some were made in Ghana, then we also came in place. So business makes you understand God better. So sometimes when you are pushing for something, you are going in for something, and it's not working, it doesn't mean it won't work. Please, just trust God. Just have that confidence that it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. What we want to do, we want to create a household product. We are not there yet. We are trusting God. We are going through the process. We are still on it. The factory we started with, where we are currently, initially we didn't know that we will get to this stage soon. So now we are building a world-class factory, and it's a Tongan factory in Kokoria. We started, and we are going to do it. We are building or we are doing something that we want people from outside to come and say, no, wow, what is being done? As I'm telling you, when you come to our team, I even have a policy when you apply for a job at our place, at school, there's a class, in our first class and all that. It's very good, it's very important. But the mentality, when we come to our place, we first look at the mentality. We interview someone, when the person says, I told my brother, the funny thing, I have a born, and he knows me. I have never born a cry. I remember we employed a food tech. She came, she was okay, and I told, but one of them I told him that no, don't we need anybody into 6 months? So we better sack her. And she was like, no, you let's give her time. I said, no, the mentality, the perception, let's get someone. About 4 or 5 months, he just sent in her resignation letter that no, she can't continue. We got in someone, and that person wasn't even a food tech, but with a perception, with a mentality. Oh, Papa, what a brag. Bring your orders. We just for caution. Hello, Sharon, this is the order. Just do it. Say, okay. She would never tell you no. And this person is a teacher. She was a teacher. She was the attendant really bad. I came with this, and she was waiting for her to put in an order. She came in and said, I will do this. And I told her, this is the type of people that we need to work with. She's improving. With her, we are getting better, we are improving. Trust me. The mentality is the most important thing. And he said something about being corrupt. Okay, stay true to yourself. Be honest. When you are exposed to money, that one is very true. It changes your mentality. It changes your perception. The way you look at things will change. It will change. I remember we wanted to buy a car and we were targeting a certain car. We said, oh, can we get a tool? When we were getting better, it was a whole new car. We saw the car and we said, I need a vision crowd. Just last week we were talking to Toyota, we want a brand new car. He said, no, this is what we want. They gave us and said, no, we will come back. But this is what we want. And we are working on it. So, your perception, everything, mentality becomes different. But you just have to stay true to yourself. I remember we met a political person. Probably maybe next week we meet her, very influential in the country. When we met her, she said something to us that, oh, that's someone like Wow. I said, okay, thank you. Why? And we did her help. This woman took us through some process like as a Osman. We didn't know she was just testing us. Osman is in snail. We should go and buy snail. We went to buy snail. We bought a snail for around 1,200 or so. We came and we presented it to her and she was like, how much? We said 1,200. I said, no, it's not. The second time we went again, we got the same thing. The woman said, this snail that you brought in Accra, or when I send people to go and buy them, not in Accra, she normally sends people to buy them. They buy this same one, not less than 5,000 cedis. And you people brought it to me at 1,200. I want to work with you. She sent us to get some sacks. The money involved was huge. We saw the figures and we were like, Sally, I even suggested it to my brother. In fact, I can come. Because when the one see the crack one, and he scared. And he said, no, let's stick to this. And I said, well, let's go. We presented it as it was. And when we got there, the first thing the woman said was, company way, in owner, let me call him. Maybe I say, no crea, say, I'm passing, my name, Moa. We're there to just pick up the phone, Papa, send me more university, but they can't call on confirming that. She didn't know us, she just wanted to help us. She went and we went the following day and she was like, no credit, only 100,000. And she gave us 100,000. We didn't know her from anywhere. It was just a process. She carried the air bar. At that time, like the air coins in the 5,000 in and they said to sue. Just see the opportunity that would have just, you see, so stay true to yourself. When the money comes, the food, the air bar, you can't change it. The mentality will change. But please stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself and it's going to work for you. Thank you.
As a leader, I make sure that I pack also. I think when I go out there, maybe you need to follow my socials, you see that I do go on the field. I do go on the field as well in the thick forest, the bush, driving at midnight, in the bush with the guys, making sure I have almost, if I put my team together, we are like 30. You know, when we go out there technically, and I'm the only woman, and I make sure that they understand what they are doing. So if it's raining, if it's sunny, they know that this is how Victoria likes to do her work. So if they know how, like, precise. So because of that, they, even today, one of my technical team is supposed to go to a grid to go and fix pump installation. And my manager called him and said, I'm already on my way. And we said, it's rain. He said, no, if you know Victoria, rain or not, the job comes first. So there should be a way that you go about with your people. Integrity. If I charge you 90,000 for something, it should be worth the job you are giving me, and what I will do should be worth the 90,000. I won't do a job that will look like 20,000 whilst I've taken 90,000. So that's number 4. My number 5 is service with empathy. Service with empathy. If you have empathy for your colleagues, the people you work with, your clients, your team, you will understand that, or try to put yourself in a situation, try to put yourself in their situation, but still having the mindset that you are a leader.
Leadership, we wrote here, is an individual who guides, inspires, and influences others towards a shared vision. So development is the process of growth, process, and improvement over time. So you develop with time. Develop or growth do not just happen. You need to grow yourself. And part of growth is sacrificing yourself or making time to be able to learn. There are a lot of platforms. Thanks to our era now, we have AI, we have everything that we can, as a leader, that we can be able to use to learn or develop ourselves. So, develop, we said, I'll repeat that, is the process of growth, progress, and improvement over time. It doesn't just happen, it takes time to be able to grow. And the challenges young people face in the face of leadership, we list a few of them, and one of them is lack of experience. It's really a challenge for young people. You lack experience. Like I mentioned earlier, you need to sacrifice your time. If you know where you are born, if you know who you want to become, you need to have someone that inspires you, a mentor, someone that you look up to. So when you have such a person, you are always moved or you are always inspired. You have to learn from that person. And when it becomes a challenge or you just want to be that person without not wanting to sacrifice or make time, it becomes a big challenge, and that is when you have to lack experiences. When you are being given platform, you might end up being ashamed of who you want to become or who you are being. Lack of education, we have lack of exposure, okay? We have limited or inadequate resources funding. We have truthfulness. Mentioned that earlier, you are not not being truthful to yourself. And how Y3L can help address or mitigate the underlying challenges. We have mentorship, we have leadership, we have summit. It helps us to grow. Acquisition of high education, very, very important. And Y3L can also help build and improve our confidence as young leaders. And building strong network. This is one of the network. I saw a lot of people exchanging contacts, talking to few people. It's networking. And training training seminars, we have mentorship, also repeated itself, coaching, learning activities. We have team building exercises, leadership book, and article, video, podcast, thanks to social media and all of those stuff. We have visual seminars and so on and so forth. So these are the few things we are able to bring together to be able to help us as young leaders emerge to where we want to. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.
We are good team. We are focusing specifically on personal development. And then, personal development is a conscious effort in grooming yourself for innovative development. I just decided give us an overview of what to expect in the presentation. These are some of the questions that people ask, specifically the ones that you ask. Present challenges young leaders face in personal development. When we sat down, we realized most of us have our differences. My personal development might be different from my brother's own, might also be different from we that we are here. So I must have a different view. So someone raised inability for young people to make decisions, and it is everywhere. Sometimes when we are here, even going out, you are contemplating as to whether it is raining. So should I still board the car to come in? It all boils down to personal development. And then we managed to find ways we can overcome these challenges, which are priorities, communication, and then decision making. We saw that when we organize seminars and then forums to educate young ones on how to develop their personal life, it will really help. Seminars like the ones we are having and then forums, as well as social media awareness. Secondly, we also have ways incorporating challenges. And then we had how Y3 can help to solve this problem, which is engaging both traditional and digital method. The traditional method is when we send volunteers to go to the grassroots, to schools, to go and advocate for people to grow, develop themselves personally, where maybe we send some of us to go to the school together. And also, the digital one is what I spoke about in the first presentation, that is the social media, the skit making, and then what have you. I'll let my brother explain the third part, and then that will be all.
Okay, so when you look at the third question we asked, the types of learning activities, why we should help in. Now, when we realize, when we look at where we are right now, we are into skit making, content creating, and I believe if you want to send a good message or you want to send a message that people will understand well, people will love watch videos, people will love to watch pictures than to read things when they are in text. And I believe that we can look at content creating, we can project personal development through content creating. Now we can also look at personal posts like that spoke about, Mr. Tom Brown spoke about. I mean, after developing yourself, if you want to engage yourself in a business, this is where Mr. Tom Brown comes in to help you, give you insight on which way and where exactly you are supposed to channel your ideas and your abilities. So I think that few points we can look at. We are looking at the types or ways YPTL can help in content, help in personal development.
Thank you. I think there were a few seconds, so my colleagues will use that to introduce themselves. All right, I'm Bedo Benjamin,
School.
Catholic University of Ghana, Punya.
I'm Peter Jesse from Heritage. Watching that is my name from Catholic University.
So I'm Solomon Ajay Jr., the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Heritage Christian University.
Heritage University.
It's Money Kufu, Kufafu.
And I'm going to SRC PR for their second time. Thank you.
Please give them a round of applause. Thank you, Group 2. Group 3, can you start making your way to the stage?
My name is Bidilai, Vice President for Eden University.
Who is David That as President for Heritage University.
Collins Adeti, SRC General Secretary for Methodist University.
Emmanuel Ekofu, SRC President for Koforidua Technical University.
Honorable Jackson, General Secretary, Wisconsin.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so the topic that we were given to discuss was values and African education. But before we delve deeper into our subject matter, we are going to just have a brief look at the key words, which values and African orientation. And we discussed that values regards something that has worth, values are fundamental beliefs or principles that guide attitudes, behaviors, and decisions. African orientation is a mindset and ability that centers Africans' perspective and ways of thinking. So as part of the questions that we were reviewing, we looked at what challenges face the African continent during the leadership stage. And one of the things that we identified was globalization. Yes, so with this particular point, we realized that there's influence from Western cultures in the way we do our things. Whilst we as Africans, we already have our way of life. We see this in our weddings. We have traditional marriages and we have something we call white wedding. But before the Westerners came here, we were already practicing our marriages. I'm not a polygamous person, but we were allowed to marry more than one wife. Yes, but they said Christianity has come and a man should stick to his one woman, etc., etc. But I think we should have maintained our culture and found a way to manage the Western influence as well. Next, we have the issue of corruption. We are in Ghana. We've had several instances of that. In fact, we've had, some time back we had the issue of Sisi Adapa. In fact, I was very, very surprised when we had such a situation and we, the youth, we didn't get up to do anything about it. We are focusing on Shatawale and Sakode, etc. But this is something that is happening in the African continent, and we, the youth, it's like we're unprepared about it. And it's part of the challenges that we are facing. Next, we are having the notion that African products are bad and dangerous. Look at us. If you look at me, I'm not in an African, apparel. I didn't know that I was going to talk about it, but it's something that it's something that we should find a way to imbibe in our culture. You see, the white man has a suit and a tie. We have also nice kaftans. We have what do you call that? We have smoke. We have lots of, very, very good products that make life on the continent easier for us. We also have companies like Kantanka. How many Kantanka cars do you see outside? We are seeing Benz, Toyota, etc., Japanese names. But we've not found a way to accommodate our local industries here in Africa. Yes. So one thing I also want to touch on is language. Look, I'm talking in English language, a white man's language. And if you check JHS, I was supposed to study, in fact, English language is a core subject, but you are meant to choose between Ga or Chi, sometimes Ewe. But why don't we rather find a way to make our local language a core subject in our JHS and SHS so that it becomes part of us? So that instead of presenting in English or French, I can be presenting in Dagbani or Tree. Yes, it's very, very nice if we have something like that. But it's part of the challenges that we are yet to overcome. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, next. So, how can we as leaders overcome these youth empowerment and, how can we as leaders overcome these challenges? So, the first thing that we can look at is youth empowerment and education. We should be organizing seminars and programs like this to discuss some of the ideas and the ways we can be able to drive development African content. Next, we have technology and social media. We said that the world is a global village. At least I know that one of the good things that the white man has invented was the internet. And it's an opportunity for Africa to learn new ways that we can do things to make our continent better. Now, if you want to study anything, there's YouTube, there's TikTok, there's Facebook. Information is at our disposal. It's up to us as Africans to find a way to engage this knowledge and use it to develop our various communities. Next, we have smart urban planning. We are having the canker of people living in Ashanti region wanting to come to Accra in the name of, my time is up. Oh, okay, all right, so I'm wrapping up. Yes, so jumping straight to the last one. How can we as leaders buy practical skills to solve Africa's problems? So, as I said earlier on, cultural workshops and programs such as this, having case studies and role plays. We already have examples of people like this, people who have made significant impact in African continents, like Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela, etc., etc. We should find a way to look at them and find a way we can accommodate their skills in our society. And then also community service and volunteer. We shouldn't be waiting for the government to clean our societies and our areas for us. People are in Jamestown and they are throwing they're doing something called shit bombing. You be in your window and then we throw garbage or all sort of things into your bedroom, which shouldn't be the case. And then they look, we drive through town, there's flooding with stuff everywhere, all because of our own practices. So these are some of the ways we can be able to make the continent a better place, all of us. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Okay, so my name is Dokucho Steven, and from Koforidua Technical University.
From Koforidua Technical University, the cadet from.
I'm Veronica Gojide, SRC version. Koforidua Technical University, sorry.
I'm Joseph Kwesidoche, Financial Controller, West Point University.
Okay, so we are talking about professional development, and when we talk about professional development, it means the transition from after you have graduated from your school. Let's say if you are doing your degree or your HND, the transition from the HND to the workplace, at the workplace, and even beyond after the workplace. That is what we talk about professional development. So we started by addressing the challenges. And one of the challenges we identified is the gap between education and the job market. We have realized that most of the things we study in our classrooms isn't what is reflecting at the job market. You study something in school, when you come back to the workplace, you are finding a very completely different something. So we realize that it is one of the challenges that is facing people from developing during their professional development stage. Because then, if I'm learning something and in the end, I'm practicing something different, then how do I develop? It's now that I'm coming to start learning new things and developing that thing as well. And we also identified a requirement for recruitment as a way that doesn't even help people to develop in their workplace. You are an NSS graduate, you are finding work and they are telling you they want 5 years job experience. How then do you graduate? How then do you transition into the work field? You tend to leave some of these opportunities because 5 years
years experience, you are NSS person. How do you get that work? It means you do not have the requisite means to transition from your professional development stage. Then we came to innovations, where we are talking about advocacy. We believe that stakeholders should set some standards, some job requirement rates, that job requirements shouldn't exceed certain years, so that it will encourage young people who have graduated to enter into the job market. Also, we believe capacity building, such forums like this should be held with people, the stakeholders. We should be able to talk to them, let them know the problems on the ground, and they also tell us why they are doing what they are doing. I think when there is such discussion, to help in the professional development. We also talk about activities where we are also talking about forum for engagement with the corporate bodies. Corporate bodies should put in places for mechanisms for training interns. We realize that most institutions do internship, but then at the job place, there are no structured internship programs. People just go for internship, just there, then they'll be sending them to buy wachi and kuku and everything. We believe that there should be a structured internship program in each organization, so that when interns come, they know that within this 1 or 2 weeks, this is what I'm doing. The next 3 weeks, I'll be doing this. This will help interns develop, and when they go to the workplace, they already know what is happening there, and they develop as well. So I think we'll end our presentation here. Thank you.
I'm Alori, SRC President of Catholic University.
Angela Fiayo Yegbe, KDU SRC Officer, Source Officer.
Hi, I'm Becca Asa, the SRC Vice President of Waste and Assessment.
Thomas Ibrahim Nkoma, SRC Vice President, Cloud University. Napoleon Yande, Chief Justice of Heritage Christian University College. Kobina Anderson, SRC Vice President, and UCAS, University College of Agriculture and Environmental Studies. From Heritage Christian University, the financial secretary. So we are the money people. We deal with money, and thank God the people in my team too, they are the business by come. So they came out with a lot of ideas. So first we start with understanding money and how it works. So we start about cash flow. Money needs discipline. Don't joke with money. Don't joke with money. And don't spend more than what you have. Don't compromise with quality. So we talk on identifying business opportunities. So pricing, we have different people, maybe a single product, but because of the price, different prices. So we talk on the pricing, check the environment, what is lacking in the community. So understanding legal structure. So attending forums concerning or pertaining to your business, pertaining to food, consult FDA, that is the Food Drug Authority, and Ghana Standard Authority. We have consult and existing business personnel. Like if you are coming to start a business, look for someone who's already in the business to talk to guide you, look at these are the stuff. So all documents about your business must be right. You just have to go through the right way of doing your business. You don't need to go through the back door to do your business. So the documents maybe from Ghana Revenue Authority, DSA, RB, you have to make sure you go through the right way to get these documents done. And developing a business plan, know your business, find your business, have a target market, uniqueness of your business, segment your market, have a long or short-term plan, know your medium of marketing, contact people who have experience in your business, and these are how you can develop business plan. Again, we talked about, we have ideas of financing your business. So if you have to finance your business, first you have to have a structured idea of your business. Come up with a structured idea of your business. And I make a suggestion of, first I make a suggestion of going in for loan to finance your business. But I get to learn something that as a startup, you don't take a loan to finance the business. If you're a startup, you should start with what you have. If you're having 1,000 cedis, start with that 1,000 cedis and build on it. Later on, if your business have grown up and you get okay, just like as our business tycoon has said, is good working with Melcom and the Palace. So assuming the Melcom and Palace break together at that moment, you need to increase its production. So that time you can now go in for loan to expand your business. So start with what you have and build upon it. Have a solid plan. Then you can sell your ideas to many people who have ideas, maybe because you don't have that one started. You can go to offices, with them and you sell your ideas and you have that money to invest your ideas. So we come out with why they should follow up after the program. After this program, we just don't want it to be like we are here today and that's all. We want you to call us back again. Ask us, okay, you've learned this, what are the steps you're taking towards that? Have you started something? Have you engaged yourself in one or two things? Then you follow up on those things. We just don't want you to leave us here or maybe say next year before you call us again. No. Maybe monthly, call us every month if you have. And when you're organizing program, we want you to involve the legal structure body, like the GRA, GSA, and the FDA. They can come and educate us on this thing. These are the necessary documents you need to run your business. These are the first things. So we know that, okay, if you are to maybe export, you need to go to IPA, right? So IPA will come and tell you, these are the standards before you can export. So you know all these things before your business. Thank you very much.
All right, so we are wrapping up. Thank you so much for being generous with your ideas. I'll call Mr. Yin to also share just his closing remarks. But then I also want to recognize Dr. Sessa. Please join me here. So please give him a round of applause. The oldie, KNUST. Yes, when we see you, we know, KNUST. Yeah, the technocrats. And okay, all right. So he was supposed to be on a panel, and his panelists, they didn't show up, but I feel like he can just share, just in a minute, just share something that you thought of when you were coming for this program. What did you think of to share with us in a minute? Okay.
Many years ago, I was in the shoes you find yourself in currently. Wherever you find yourself now, be it now going into office or exiting office, there's a thin line when it comes to student governance. I have had the opportunity to be in leadership for about 7 years. The last time I was a student leader was when I was SRC president in KNUST. That was in the year 2021. Now, I find myself in a clinical setting. And a lot of student leaders find a lot of difficulty when they exit office because there is no plan after office. Those of you find opportunity in now entering office, you have a responsibility to have on yourself, those you lead, and the students who have voted you into power. Now, the thin line is this. Nobody cares about you. Everybody cares about the office you occupy. And so you have that responsibility to make sure that you give your best to the people that you are serving. Because when you leave, it is your name and that office that will be assessed. When I was leaving office, I had the opportunity to be gifted a plaque from the Asantehene, who is the chancellor of our university. That was the first time that an honor has been given to an SRC president exiting the office. This was because we had a difficult time during COVID, handling our students' affairs and prioritizing our issues. I had a time with Group 2, if I'm not mistaken, and they were discussing very pertinent issues. These are issues that if we had the opportunity to dialogue or deliberate on them when we are student leaders would have gone a long way to help us. But we didn't get these opportunities that you are having now. Take good use of them. Make sure that you network, bond amongst each other, share the policies that you are having in your various universities, and implement them for the very benefit of the students that you lead. During my time, there was this policy that was being run in UCC. There was a data package, Vodafone data package, now Telecel, a data package that they were running for our students. We're doing a lot of online classes, and the students needed to, aside the meals that they were buying and all that they were spending on campus, had to buy data, internet, to be able to access classes. We needed to increase our data gig that we were using to learn on campus to a substantial or significant amount so that the students could use that to supplement their academic work. Through our talks with Vodafone, we were able to increase their Vodafone data package to 5 gig. To date, that is what they use, and they get it every month. On the 25th of every month, they get 5 gig Vodafone data package, and then it helps them with their academic work. They get it free. And so these are policies that you can implement. The telcos, whatever have you, they are all open. Their doors are open to all of you. You can go there, put in good negotiations, ask for the documents that your police are implementing in their various universities, and make sure you leave office with a map. And your name, your office, your yearbook will always be remembered. Now, to those of you coming to the world outside the university, you know what? When you exit, nobody cares about you. You see you, hi, express, do, hey, it's excellent. They only see you and want to take money from you. But you know the thing like, whatever you are learning from here, the networking, the people that you are meeting, the coaches, they are your resource. That is what you are supposed to build on. There are several SRC presidents who have become national leaders in this country. There are several SRC presidents who have failed in this country. It is up to you to make sure that you become a different breed, become a different person to yourself. And then I wish you nothing else but the best in life. And then always give it up for those who organize this program. Whenever you hear of it, make sure you attend. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, so I'll call Mr. Yin to give his closing thoughts, and then I'll also give, okay, the second one, Opini Kasaria, so Mr. Yin, give me a second. Ojariria, hey, my affair has, okay, that's what I get. So I want Profa to share his closing or his parting words, his experience, the discussion, so in a few seconds.
So, let's know what my group said. They said, don't joke with money. That is what I would like to plead with all of us here. Including myself, we shouldn't joke with money. It will be a shot. We shouldn't say really initially. That is what we are used to, probably when we are doing stuff. Oh, really initially. Let's be very disciplined in terms of handling how we handle cash when cash comes to us, because it's not easy to come by. And sustaining it is also probably another level of topical education altogether. Thank you very much. I believe programs like this is what you are supposed to probably invest in and also support. I'm going to talk with her. We are going to be part of this anytime, anywhere, anywhere, anywhere they call us. We are going to be part of this forever until they tell us we are not supposed to be part anymore. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. It's heartwarming to hear that. One thing before I got to know that Profa was in Palace and everything, one of the things I always see, because proximity-wise we were close, is that he's not a lazy man. I think that we have gotten too glued to this device. I'm a digital consultant, I study HR, I work in CPL, I have a startup tech organization, but in terms of the tech, I see we are so glued to this thing that to find opportunities. We all get trouble with that, but that's one thing I saw about print. So when I heard Profa was blowing, I said, no, I'm not surprised, because he will go where people don't want to go. He would do things people don't want to do. So I just encourage us, let's know how to manage this tool, health-wise, opportunity-wise, it will go a long way to help us. And I hope that through this platform, we can be able to even share how people are using it for the betterment, and then we can all help ourselves. All right, so Mr. Yin, let me give you the floor to give us a closing remark.
Aiko. Good. I want to thank all of you for making the time. We don't take it for granted. We know we are committed to developing, contributing to the development of the youth in Africa. It is a promise we've made to ourselves and a promise we will keep. Our vision of touching 1 million young Africans was happening. And it's going to happen also with all of you. We need all of you to be part of that vision of bringing on board African youth who are intentional about their growth. That is why I'm so happy that you are here. I think when we started, we said we were looking to have about 100 people here. And there were 10 of them, and I said, let's start, because the rule is that if you have 10%, that's enough. Okay? So all of you here, if you just get 10% of you who are committed to support, to develop yourself will be great. Let me tell you something. Nobody will develop Africa for us. Nobody will develop Ghana for us. Let's talk about IMF and all those things. How many times have you been there? 17 times. You know the definition of madness? You know that? Have you heard the definition of madness? You don't know? Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. That's the definition of madness. And I can promise you, the way we started this IMF thing, 2026, we are in IMF. It doesn't matter which of them comes. They are the same. You and I have opportunity to really change the stories of our country and of our country. And the things that have been shared here, there's a piece of the iceberg. We are putting together a program that will help expand this horizon. We are thinking beyond all this little NDC and politics and that. But you listen to the Kenyan young people, they have understood the target. They know what is there. What are we doing with all these devices? Like somebody said, Shatawale is speaking with somebody and it's a big thing, and we spend 2 hours. We spend hours discussing NDC, NPP, and this. And it's useless arguments. And defending and strong defending indefensible. We waste our energies on things. And my generation has failed you. And we keep failing you. And we put you into that, excuse my language, stupidity. And then they pitch you against each other. When they go to Parliament, very soon they are going to discuss their SRC. And the executive will approve it for the Parliament, and Parliament will approve it. They never fight about that. There is no walkout. It's just them, they're thinking about themselves. It's not about you. If they bring you inside, it's because they want the votes. After that, it's finished. So I want us to wake up and to ask ourselves, what can we do differently to change our country? Yes, we know that there are opportunities out there. Fine. Any opportunity, you can go and learn and get something and come and help your family. But remember, there is no way you're going to be significant in somebody's country. None. All the people who do whatever you get get to a certain level, we will have to come back. So let us make this place for the happen. Because we have so many things going to come up, and we have so many programs at CTL that we do, for young people, for corporate, for different groups. Every Saturday, we have a platform called the Leadership Platform at the HTL, every Saturday. And it's free. If you go, we've done, what is it? Is it 175 sessions? And when the forward goes, you are telling me in the market, everybody needs some of consistency. We have to come for learn execution and consistency from this. When you decide we do something with it, it's only way we can do it. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Joy and the team for all that you have done. And I encourage you to network, go onto the platform, and connect with us. I mean, we have an open house. If you have issues, invite us. We go to campuses. We have a program every year called Live to Lead. Okay? So Live to Lead is an annual leadership program. And we, although it's expensive, we get the corporate to bring on board. But we also have a room for students. And we give smaller size for students to come on board. Heritage Christianity University has actually been supporting this program, and we bring the students. There is an orphanage, Village of Hope, who brings students with the children to the program. And we would encourage you. And when we do this, we even go, in fact, we've gone to HCC, we've gone to UCC to do a rebroadcast. So if you invite us to your campus, we will come and do some rebroadcast of the Live to Lead for you. So we have been committed to this, and we want you to just get on board. Just call us, and you can take my number. Let me give it to you. You can call me anytime. You can call Joy anytime. Okay? 050 404 68 53. That's my WhatsApp number. Just invite us if you have programs you need us to come and talk and share ideas with your people. We'll be very happy. Because when we invited you, okay? When you invite us, we will come. Thank you very much, Joy, and thank you, Thank you, everybody.
We are all